right, so we got a couple comments and people saying that don't give up, do a second episode of the Evo build. So we're gonna stick to it. We're gonna keep making Evo content. So this is gonna be episode 2 of our Evo build, and we're gonna be calling this one the ugly truth about our new Evo project. So let's get to it. So we just took this out of the box, and I don't know who would do this, but they just shipped this piece in just a box with the popcorns. No protection. Fingers crossed this thing isn't cracked, but... Alright, so here we're starting off with the ugly truth about my Evo 9. We got shipped a rear differential with nothing but cardboard box and the popcorn shipping protection and this bubble wrap. As you can see here, we're taking it out of the bubble wrap, checking it out. Oh man, look at that, all oily. Let's see if we can clean it up, see if it starts leaking again or not. So good news here, after a couple days, checked back up on it, no new leaks, so we'll proceed to the next ugly truth about my Evo 9. So as you guys are about to see here in the next following clips, it's pretty obvious that this Evo was in a front end collision. It looks like the damages were to the front and lower radiator supports. But not to worry, looked at the suspension and the rest of the chassis and frame, it didn't look terrible, no crease marks, no sign of any damages or bends. So we're going to go ahead and chop the front end off, put in a new upper radiator support, and do a tubed front end on this build. Now clearly I'm not a professional body shop mechanic and never dealt with any collision or crashed cars before, but I was really up for the challenge of building a tubed front end for a car. I just could never justify actually chopping one up before. 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Today's the day we're gonna go pick up our transmission. So we're gonna head down to DB shop, DB Trans, and pick up our new built trans. So in the following days, we decided to take a little break from the chassis work. We decided to head down to our good buddy DB Trans and pick up our new built trans for the build. Needed to get the transmission and engine mounted into the car so that we can see if the chassis was actually really bent or not. Side note, look at all these Evos. What a beautiful sight to see. And there's our built transmission. Sheesh. So since we gotta build a new front end for the car, we're gonna mock up the engine and transmission, throw it in the car so we can build a new front end. So let's get to it. We also have to see if the engine even fits in the chassis or if the chassis needs some tweaking. So we're gonna throw it in there and find out real quick anyway. So let's get to it. So here we go. We're kind of just going out on a limb here. We're throwing a blown block and a built transmission into the car to see if it actually lines up. And for the most part, everything was lining up perfectly. As you can see here, I am prying a little bit with the pry bar. Just needed to tweak a little bit on the chassis to get the mount to line up. But once we got the bolt in there, everything was solid and good to go, and everything looked straight. Ta-da! And just like that, engine transmission is mounted in the car. Beautiful sight. All right, transmission's in. It looks good. We had to do a little tweaking on the chassis. She's in there now. We're finally gonna be testing out this Lincoln welder that my wife got me for, I think it was what, our anniversary. Right now, we're gonna test it out, set it up, test it out, and we're going to weld partial brackets onto the car so that we can mock up the headlights. Again, everything is just kind of a mock up. We're gonna get a new radiator support, and we're going to do a tubed front end. Right now, we're just gonna test out the welder and mock up onto these partial brackets for the headlights. Should be a fun little test of the welder, I should say. Yep, so welding noob here, can't keep my helmet on, LOL. So just a further explanation of what we got going on here. I cut up the old radiator support that was a little bent and pretty much just mocking it up and testing out the welder. It's just so we can mock up the headlights and see how it fits all in the car. And to be quite honestly, I just wanted to see this with the hood, fenders, and the headlight on because it makes the car look better while it's sitting in my garage. So this looks 10 times better. Obviously, if you're looking at a magnifying glass, you can tell that it isn't perfect, but this also isn't the finished product. This is the process, and I'm actually really enjoying the process. and honestly, I'm proud of how this is turning out so far.
All right, we got the headlights sort of installed. Older. I'm out of breath. Yeah, there she sits.
So this is gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. Episode 2 of our Evo build. This is the ugly truth about our new 2006 Mitsubishi Evo 9. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is a lot of work, but hopefully we keep putting in the work so that this thing will turn into a monster and doesn't end up on jack stands for the next 5 years of its life. So we're gonna keep chipping away at it. It's fun being able to put together a shell from scratch. And anyways, guys, I just hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you comment and thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.